and my colleague. Both of you studied for BE UG undergraduate in May 97 batch. Thank you. Welcome to our Jai Kumar sir. Please take your honorable speech.
Yeah, very good morning, everyone. Right. I think you know the purpose why I am here. The very simple reason, of course, due to your head of the department, Dr. K. Shivakumar. Just now, yes, emphasized that we are UG classmates. I think it's a long way back. That is in 1993. That means, yeah, it's 27 years. So I have known him for last 27 years now. Such a very scholarly and studious student, Dr. Shiva is. Right. I'm glad that he's heading the department there. I really thank, my friend, old friend, Dr. K. Shivakumar, head of the department, SRM EEC, and all other senior faculty members of the department, even to the coordinator, Anand, and more importantly, my student friends. Right. Thank you. I'm really happy, because these are the occasions wherein we can really discuss with my fellow students. Though they call it as a motivational class or talk, I really don't believe in them. Because the teaching and learning are two different things. Teaching happens externally, whereas learning happens internally. A student should have a open mind. You should allow it to go in, sink in, then only the learning can happen. So we cannot say whatever I teach students have learned. Similarly, a motivation talk can be delivered. I can keep on giving all quotes, but unless otherwise you are open to it, unless otherwise you open your mind, you cannot be. So what I mean to say is, it is a very internal feeling using which one can easily get motivated. Let me try that. So what I will do, my thing is, more than a motivation talk, I am going to share with my student friends what's happening around you. Need not to panic, right? At the same time, let us not be very take it for granted everything, we know everything kind of a thing. So it is a kind of a interactive session. I feel like to have them, right? So what I will do directly, let me get on to my slides. Could you see my slide completely?
Yes,
Sir, can you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Fine. Right. Skills you need for tomorrow's job. Fine. That is the topic. So I have planned my presentation in the following order. So ideally, I would like to have one world quiz, very popular world quiz to start with. Then I would like to take it to redefining skill demands for next generation. What about the employability? What the industry says. Then there is some concept of knowledge explosion. You might have been, hearing this term known as disruptive technologies that are going to revolutionize our society. What are they? Then very importantly, what are the skills you should, develop, or the skills that are going to dominate in the future jobs? So then what are the career prospects for mechanical engineers post COVID-19? Then I would like to share, if at all, some mantra to success, right? This is how I plan to do that. First of all, I thank you. I was told that most of you have used one or other my textbooks, like, for the kinematics of machinery, dynamics of machinery, design of transmission systems, TQM, so like that. In that list, at least one or two you might have studied. I am the very reason for why I am here is due to that, because it's my duty to talk to my students, right? To share what I am, right? Sir, whether this chat box is enabled? No, no.
Yes, sir.
No, sir.
Enable, sir. Yeah, yes, sir. Enable.
I think I could not be able to see the,
Yes,
that's not enabled for me, probably only for the insiders, I think. Isn't it?
yes, enable, sir. Yes,
Chat box is enabled?
yes, sir.
Fine, browser.
Yes, sir.
Because can you do one thing? Can you do one thing?
Yeah.
Nothing. I thought of floating one polling
Okay.
because for me, probably I'm outside of the organization. I could not see the chat box enabled.
That box.
Anyhow,
Yes,
it's
yes,
fine.
okay.
So
Okay.
what I will do is, what I will ask is, my dear student friends, just have a pen and paper with you. Just it's only 5 questions. Let us see how we know better about the world. Are you ready to take the world quiz? This is a factfulness quiz by Hans Rosling, very famous, Swedish statistician who has conducted this survey. So I want you all to participate in this, right? Ideally, I thought of conducting a polling. Nevertheless, you can have a paper pen and you just note down the option. Let me directly move on to the question number 1. I hope you are having something with you. You are answering the questions. Though there are no right or wrong answers, so please have it and you make a mark of those answers. Move on to question number 1. In all low-income nations, how many girls finish primary schools? Primary schools up to 5th standard. Low-income nations, about $1,250 per year. GNI, gross national income per capita. Those are known as low-income nation. India is bit above that. We are not coming under that. So, in low-income nations across the globe, what do you think? How many percentage of the girls could be able to finish their primary school? 20% of the girl students, or 40%, or 60%? It's a MCQ type. You have to choose any one of these 3 answers. Hope you have marked it. So now I am moving on to the question number 2. Hope all of you have guessed some answer, right? This is what we call our world quiz. It's just for fun and awareness. Move on to the question number 2. Worldwide, whether a rich nation or poor nation, whatever may be, worldwide, 30 years old men have spent 10 years in school. That means 30-year-old men have spent 10 years in school. They've studied for 10 years at least, on an average. Then what about the women? 30-year-old woman, how many years worldwide they have spent in school? 3 years out of 30 years, or 6 years, or 9 years? Men have spent 10 years. What about women? How many years do you think have spent at school on an average? 3 years, 6 years, 9 years? Let us move on to the third question. How many people in the world have access to electricity? Very important, need. It has become now a basic need kind of a thing. So how many people in the world do you think have access to electricity? Across all countries, across all continents. 25% of the people have access to the electricity. No. 55%. No. 90%. You have 3 choices to choose. I hope you are marking your answers now. You are having with you. You need not to reveal to anyone, right? If you feel you can play in your chat box, it's up to you. Though I could not be able to see them. Let me move on to the question number 4. How many of the world's children have been vaccinated against one or other diseases? Not a specific disease. One or other diseases worldwide, including African continent, everywhere, do you think, or what do you think the percentage of the children vaccinated against some disease? Is it 35%, 65, or 90%? The next one. How many children born after 2011? 2011, that means now 2020. Now right now they are in, say, 3rd or 4th standard. Those who are studying 3rd or 4th standard currently will reach their 100th birthday. In your opinion, how many of the children born after 2011 will celebrate their 100th birthday? That means they are going to live for 100 years. What is the percentage? Do you think? Is it a 2% of the kids, or 50% of the kids, or 33% of the kids? Right? I hope you have keep your pen down. You have made all the answers, very straightforward answers. This I happen to see that Ron Asling's TED Talk, TED TED Talk in YouTube. Very amazing TED Talk. So what he has done, he has conducted this survey across the globe, right? Over 10,000 members from different level. Even he has conducted the survey at United Nations, at bureaucrats, at top-notch people, right? Media person, everyone he has conducted, national wise. He got answers. What he has done it is like how you have participated in the poll. What he has done at the same time, he has asked the same questions to chimpanzees. What is the chimpanzees? When you give a three options A, B, C to the chimpanzee, choose A, B, C, give him a mango or give him a banana. After having the banana, it will go and choose randomly any one of the three options. That means probability is 33% of the probability a chimpanzee, a monkey has, to give the right answer. So what we have it is chimpanzee could able to give 30% of the correct answer. Let us see how we fare about this quiz. Are you ready to go to the answer now? Yes. This is the answer, my dear friend. This is the answer. 60% of the girls finish primary school. If I would have had conducted the polling, we would have known from our SRM what would be the percentage of the students would have given this answer. But we do not have, let us assume that, right? So now let us go to the second question. 30 years old men spend 10 years, whereas 30 years old women have spent equally same number of years, 9 years in school. So girl students also are studying. They are spending their, significant amount, same as men at school. Wow, this is very staggering amount, which I think most of you might have got it wrongly. If I am right, right? How many people in the world? 90% of the people worldwide, across all continents, have access to the electricity. This, I think most of you should have got this wrongly, right? This is a mind-blowing number, mind-blowing number. Again, fantastic. 90% of the kids around the world are vaccinated against one or other diseases. I think you, if you get the right, you are really good. If not, not is your problem as such. This is very interesting. 33% of the kids who are born after 2011 are likely to celebrate their 100th birthday. The lifespan is increasing. It is not like 58, not like 60, not like 64. Even in India, it is about 70. These are the things, my dear friend, what the survey says. It is a proven survey, though I don't have it across the globe. Entire globe have scored lesser than the chimpanzee success rate, correct answer. Most of them have got 8% correct answer, 10% correct answer, 12% of the poll correct answer. Only chimpanzee in most of the countries have scored better answers in this. Even leaders, world leaders were given this quiz. There are about 20 questions are there. I have given only 5 of them. What it says? It says very simple thing. Media systematically skew data, trend, use selective stories to make people think that the world is getting worse. We always have the feeling that, nothing is going correctly around me. World is not that better around me. All that negative sentiments around us. It is being done, planned, intentionally or unintentionally. We are living with that negativity. Please understand, my dear friends, that is not that fact. The fact is the world is improving, but that's not what we believe. So we need to be very positive. So we need to think positive. We need to do positive. Be positive. So positivity is all around. Please check the facts around. Do not simply get emotionally take all the media reports, take it for granted. Believe them. So be positive. That is the message that comes out of that polling. Okay. So positivity is important, right? So don't think that everything negative around you. That's the single message from that polling. Right. Now let us get on with our topic. Let us get on with our topic. Earlier days, when we used to study engineering, they say, what is your passion? Follow that. That's it. You'll get a job. But now we need to redefine them. I am interested in something. I am passionate about something. Will it take me to the success? Definitely not. Of course, you have to be passionate. But what is more important is we should be knowing that you should be passionate about something, about the job, about the career, which the future world will need you. So it is important that there is a Venn diagram, my passion, then world's requirement, job requirement. These two should have interlinking. So let us see how it happens. Let me give you statistics, my dear friends. This is taken from MHRD, All India Survey on Higher Education 2019. It says in India, about 3 crore students are registered for undergraduate studies. That includes everything. That includes, art, science, all stuff. About 3 crore per year. They are undertaking any one of the UG course. Sir, what about the engineering? I'm coming to that fact, that 13.47% of that 3 crore are chosen engineering and technology. That amounts to about 40 lakh students per year taking by and large engineering course. So, or in other words, per year we are having about 40 lakh engineers coming out of each batch, right? So let me specific to the mechanical. Yes, I have the data as well. This is the data, my dear friend. About 40 lakh, about 7.8 lakh students are undergoing in a single year, this mechanical engineering course. So this is about, 2019 data. So probably by and large, here and there, the data might vary. But the fact of the matter is, you are one among that 8 lakhs. Yes, that is a fact. So you know that still mechanical engineering till 2019, I don't know this trend, is more preferred department nationally, if not in Tamil Nadu. So what the industry says about our engineers? Of course, we are getting about 8 lakhs, about 40 lakh engineering students are coming up day in and day out. What that industry say, this is the survey. These are not, my results. They say only 20% Indian engineering graduates are employable. See, this is what we call, say, our graduates, our passed out students, our neighbors, they are claiming that after completing my engineering studies, I do not have any job. That is on one side. On the other side, you ask the industry people, they say they have vacancies. They claim we do not able to find the right people. We have so much of vacancy to fill with because nobody is industry ready. They say they are not employable. Vacancies are there. Industry says they are not employable. On the other hand, graduates say, I have the graduation degree, I have 85%, I have completed all in one go, but I do not have a job. So what's happening around that? So these are the data, these are the things students should listen to. Such data, such industrial talks, such expert talks will float, will throw some statistics to you that will inspire you to focus on something very specific. So let us say what it says. they say only 20% of the Indian engineering graduate are employable. 80% of them are not fit for the job, right? So even if you want to train, they feel most of them are not trainable. That's what they say. Then only about 5% of the engineering students are having good coding skills, right? Then only 3% of the graduates have artificial intelligence relevant skills. Only about 1.5 to 5% of engineers possess necessary skills in data engineering. Only about 2.8 to 5.3 percentage of engineering graduates are qualified in, some these tools, right? So these are the data. So you need to wireless technology tools. So these are the data you should know. So if you are very specific, you can see this is what we call a gap, a market gap. So that means you need to zero in that gap and you have to develop the skill. I am trying to give them. What about the design engineer? By and large, they say only 6.62 percentage of the engineers are employable in design area. When it comes to mechanical engineering, design engineer, they say out of that 7.8 lakh mechanical engineers, they claim only 7% of that 7.8 lakh mechanical engineers of that particular batch are employable under mechanical design scheme. So these are the data they have given. Let me give you, my dear friend, another different story. I have now thrown, please understand, I am just throwing some data around you. These are some dots. It's your job to join those dots to make interpretations that should motivate you, that should give some idea for you to concentrate in the future or be aware of it. When you are aware of it, you will not become slave to your mobile phone. You will not become slave to some other devices. You will not allow them to control you. Instead, you should be the one to control it, right? So these are the things will happen only when you are aware of all the things, when you have some passion. So I am coming to that fact. Now let me come to this another terminology. Please understand these terminologies, my dear friends. That's what we call knowledge explosion. You see the term explosion. That means things are changing quite fastly, dramatically, exponentially. As you could see, these are very well researched diagrams. So this diagram says, this curve says, if we take 1900 years before, it took 100 years for a knowledge to double, knowledge doubling. So 100 years it took. All what happened during World War II, 1940s to 45s, what people have started, putting into engineering very seriously. So they have brought many things into engineering during the World War. So what had happened from 1945, the knowledge has doubled in 25 years. Then 1982, it has done it in, about 10 to 10 years. Now this in 2020, the knowledge doubling happening in 1 or 2 years. The knowledge doubling is different. In nanotechnology, it is happening in 2 years. If it is in a clinical knowledge, it is in 18 months. So in each and every field, knowledge doubling is happening. What is the message, sir? The message is very simple. The technology what we have yesterday may not be the same today. The job what I had 1 year before will not be the same today. The Jayakumar being into the teaching profession from the 1997, now more than 23 years, the job will not be the same today, right? I am just a raw, hardcore, traditional chalk and talk teacher. Now I must be learning about, voiceover, screen recording, using the MS Word, how to use the polling option, how to do it in streaming, how to have a YouTube account. All I am forced to do it. Though I am a technically challenged fellow, I am not, this one. This is what, my dear friend, I have been telling you. This is what I have been telling you. Knowledge explosion happening fastly. You need to embrace them. Very interesting point. Let me come to this slide. I really like it. I want you to make a note of the statistics. Very important statistics. That says 65% of the students today, like you, are going to work in a job that has not been invented yet. Fantastic. So you are going to work in a job that are not existing now. We do not know what job you are going to be landing right now. Next data says 50% of the current jobs will be replaced by automated machines. Automations will be taking them. These all routine, monotonous, unskilled worker job, which doesn't require any human intervention skill, will be taken by the automation. They say 50% of the current jobs will be replaced by automated machines, with 60% having at least 1/3 of their activities automated. When I say robotics and automation, people have the impression that mechanical engineers will be losing their jobs. They are the ones very severely affected. Come on. That is a myth. That is a false statement. This automation is going to affect everyone. In a newspaper, proofreading person, to programming coding skill, a routine coding programmer not required, computer automated thing, AI itself will write the coding. So all cutting across banking, employment, news, media, whatnot, engineering job, computer job, nobody will be spared. All it will have. So what it can do, it cannot replace men. It can replace only a routine which doesn't require unskilled jobs. So that's what they say. Why I'm telling these are the things you should be aware. Next, 80% of the skills trained for in the last 50 years. We have trained students. We have been training students in the last 50 years in certain mode, in certain way. They will be outperformed by machines. So old skill sets are going to be useful to you. Be aware of it. Be aware of it. What's happening around the world. So these are the statistics. Then another statistics very important for you, my dear friends. At global level, technically automatable activities will touch to the equivalent of 1.1 billion employees. Crore, 7 zeros, 1 billion equal to 100 crores, right? So 9 zeros, right? So 1.1 billion employees are required in these automation industries going forward. 1.1 billion. Can't you be one among that 1.1 million? You can. That is a message for you, my dear friend. Then about 15.8 trillion in wages. Very important. Trillion. What is trillion? 12 zeros. 1,000 billion equal to 1 trillion. 10 to the power 12. 12 zeros. 15.8. Then you put 12 zeros. That much of dollar will be available as a wages. You just imagine, my dear friend. India is being called as youngest nation in the world in terms of working youth capital. When we say working youth capital, means working ages from 20 to 60, 25 to 60. So when we have that, can't we take 10% of this 15.8 trillion wages available in the world? We can. That's why we are very optimistic. Fine, sir. So you get an idea now. We got I have thrown some data, number game, what other things are required. Then another thing. So please understand, I am throwing side by side what's happening around the world. Let me bring in now what's happening around the world. These are the terminologies, jargons you have been using day in, day out, especially in the world of webinar. You must be using the word disruptive technologies. You might be aware already. What is by disruptive technology? Sir, whether it's a very destructive, these are not good. No, that is not the meaning. The disruptive technologies, the very meaning is it will change upside down the way we live our day-to-day lives, the way we use products, processes, things in day-to-day lives will be transformed, completely upside down. That technologies are known as disruptive technologies. Let me tell you, my dear friend, because sometimes what happens, people keep on using so many jargons, so many words, acronyms, Don't worry, my dear friend. Don't get carried away by dear friend. These are some philosophy. What is disruptive technology? Sir, I am using, earlier I used to see televisions. Now we are having net streaming. Now OTT platform. Now Netflix, Amazon, Prime, and so on. Hotstar. That is a disruptive technology. Sir, now, we have been using all cloud storage, Google Drive, OneDrive. That is a disruptive technology. Sir, I am using a social media which is occupying most of our, time. Can it be a WhatsApp? Can it be a, Facebook or Instagram or Twitter? This is the disruptive technology. Right? Like that, there are many disruptive technologies are happening, that makes the world technology absolute, and we are becoming that way. So these are the technologies everyone is talking about. What are they? Internet of Things, right? Then we have augmented reality, virtual reality. You might be aware, you might have heard that 3D movies you might have seen. World over, 5D movies have come, 5D theaters have come, wherein people will have a goggle. So the chair will give all the feeling, right? So what will happen, you might have played some video games. I don't know the name, Pokemon Go, or I don't know. So those games, it takes them to that reality, something, to that feel. We call it as a immersion technology. We become immersive. We are experiencing it. We are becoming part of the movie. I become a hero of the movie or villain of the movie, character of the movie. My chair vibrates. I am getting, even sometimes bubble comes, water flashes on my face. Even I could be able to get some smell, aroma when I'm in here. So these are the things have been tried out. So that is augmented reality. So now what I'm talking about augmented reality is in, movie, media. But please understand, the same technology can be extended to anything. Assume that augmented reality can be done for a medical field. During the operation, they can see everything in a crystal clear, mapped into a, reality. It will be easier for them. Assume that sitting here, I want to control a industry, office remotely. I can use own my designed augmented reality. What is virtual reality? That also gives the same feeling, but only thing is I have to have that VR head set. The difference between AR and VR is, in AR, all others, the setup is not changed. We are in the theater sitting with every other people. Just an example I am telling you, but still we are feeling it. In VR, we are cut with, isolated from the entire environment. Only with that set, I am individually going through them. My dear friend, I tell you, even when you are power plant class, even a maintenance of a motor, if you are studying oil and gas industry, there are so many virtual reality, augmented reality videos available, sites are available. Get into them. Sir, I could not be able to go to an industrial visit now. No problem, my dear friend. There are very well developed augmented reality videos available. As a student, what I can do, I can directly walk into the power plant. I can go into a power plant. I can open my boiler. I can see what's happening inside the boiler. What I mean to say, in this direction, so much of research is happening. This is happening. It is not restricted to media industry. It is for manufacturing, it is for medical, it is for everything. VR and AR. Similarly, Internet of Things. Similarly, about robots. Similarly, drones. Now 3D printing, additive manufacturing we call, right? Then the other name, which we call artificial intelligence. What is artificial intelligence? When I come to a classroom, chair should understand that somebody comes, So either it should move away, it should not be obstacle, or it should come towards me, knowing my requirement. That means, so we are giving a artificial intelligence to a thing, right? So that means we are making the chair to have its own intelligence that is being created artificially. So it will have a thinking skill, right? So this is what we call artificial intelligence. So now people, they use, there are three types. Sir, what is AI? What is machine learning? What is deep learning? Please understand, artificial intelligence is a biggest, bigger umbrella. Under that, how we are going to train the machine, how we are going to train the thing, only based on the technology, they call it as a machine learning. How they are going to teach a machine to learn something, that is machine learning. If they go into some algorithms to software to train on their own, it will get trained on their own, then that is known as deep learning. That is known as deep learning. Now, if, for example, my video, if it is available in YouTube, I have the caption CC. So if I enroll that CC, nobody is there in the world. Whatever Jaikumar says, that will come as a caption. Come on, that is the AI. Because they have done all the deep learning programming code. So thousands of people, language, accent are being recorded, or being fed into the computer, or being given, so that the software, the system, gets trained. Though my accent will be a Tamil Nadu guy accent, but still the software can identify that accent and will display whatever I say, will be displayed as a caption below. Thousands of people are uploading their video. For everyone, if I put to CC, the CC caption will come. Do you think that somebody is there? Earlier, I used to think somebody is there to, translate it and type them for each and everything. Come on, that's what AI. How you train them? Depending upon the training, it becomes machine learning and deep learning. Here, please understand, my dear friend, from your mindset, don't think artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning, big data analytics are computer science courses. Totally remove that notion from your mind. Erase that from your mind. These are generic ones. These are assets of everyone. Everybody is expected to have working knowledge, hands-on knowledge on this area. See, this machine learning, artificial learning, all big data analytics are occurred in every part, every field. You take an industry, in a machine, I will have hundreds of manufacturing data. If I have 100 machine, 100 into 100, 1,000, then if it is all interacted, it will be a lakhs of data available. How I am going to interpret lakhs of data? That's what we call big data analytics. So big data analytics are then interpreted, right? Then in order to interpret them, collect them, we need sensors, we need internets. That's what we call IoT. So how to do that, how to train them, how to automatically it can stop, it can change. That's where AI comes into picture. So what I mean to say, my dear friend, for my industry, for my mechanical industry, do you think that computer science engineer can come and give the solution? Come on, I don't think so. That should be done by us. So that's what I mean to say. First, from your notion, please erase it immediately. AI, machine learning, deep learning, or the technologies that are meant for CSC students. Absolutely not. What is that? It's after all a programming coding. After all, you're learning few extra softwares. After all, spending extra time into it. Then those technologies will be applied in our domain, for our robots, for our manufacturing, for our power plant. Hope you are getting it. That is the message I want to do. That's why I'm seriously telling you this rise of this industry, not only for CSE students, even more so for us, it will be more useful. Only thing is, we should not be afraid. We should not have false thinking that it doesn't belong to me. I don't know. I can't do. It's a CSE. Come on. These are myth. What do you have to do? Sir, I don't have AI course in my curriculum, in our syllabus, in Anna University, in our autonomous university. So what? So what? It is the internet. They say Mada Pida Guru Devam. Now people say Mada Pida, Guru also. They put it and remove it and they put Google and Devam. We have Google it. We have MOOC courses. The popular MOOC courses, right? Coursera, edX, NPTEL, Udemy. Why not? So many industries have floated, so many Coursera courses, so many MOOC courses. You choose. You choose for technology means Udemy is the better, Coursera is the better. So many fantastic hundreds and thousands of courses are available freely. You take them, take the certification. Pursue your passion. Do small projects in them. Take that project as your mini project. That as your major project. Have interdisciplinary. That's what I'm going to talk about. Right. Whatever, my dear friend. Again, another terminology, Industrial 4.0. This is given by German people. It's a philosophy. Don't worry. Immediately don't fear. I don't know. Are you Internet Industry 4.0? Nothing. If you see to that, nothing. What they say is, we know the traditional industry should be connected with each other. To connect, what is required? Internet, smart devices. When you have Wi-Fi, when you have internet, we call it as smart. Then we call it as Internet of Things. In that, we need sensor, different sense of sensor. So that means from home, I can control my industry. So nobody is required to be in the industry. That's why they call it as smart factory, cloud-based manufacturing, factory of the future, smart manufacturing, digital manufacturing, dark factory, lights out manufacturing, because all are automated. This is the philosophy. They say that industry should move forward in that direction, right? Even if you see what are the industry 4.0 framework, again the same. Sensor, Internet of Things, cloud computing, augmented reality, 3D printing, big data analytics, which I've already discussed. So these are what I have done. It is, I am throwing you some statistics. I have thrown you how many graduates are studying. I have thrown you what are the things the employees are expecting. I have thrown you about 7-8 technologies that are going to rule the world in the next 20-30 years. I have thrown all. Now you tell me. I will not tell you. You tell me. I am in the second year mechanical engineering student, sir. So far I was very naughty boy. So far I was not so focused. So far I was not motivated. So far I was keep on complaining about my parents. Keep on complaining about my environment. Keep on complaining about my situation. Teachers, institute, for all my, not so being so successful. No, that will not help you. That will not help you. Okay, sir. Now I am in a second, third, or final year, wherever you are. Now let us try to connect the dot. I am trying to connect the dot. You tell me, sir, what can I do? These are the skills. I put, my dear mechanical guys, I put these skills under two baskets. First one is core competency skill. Another one is life skill. Gone are the days. What is your percentage? Have you graduated? That is knowledge based. We used to, whether they will check the knowledge. So your marks will check the knowledge. Now it is a skill based world. The industries are asking not degrees. They are asking some specific skills. So it's skill based. So we should have core competency skill and a life skill. What is core competency skill? Again, under core competency skill, as you could see, please, you can take a photo of this slide. Save this slide, right? So I have under these 4, subdivisions. Strong fundamental knowledge in mechanical subjects, interdisciplinary knowledge, hands-on skill, computing skills. I'll come back to one by one. Core competency skill is very important. You know that mechanical engineering are different disciplines: design, manufacturing, thermal, then industrial engineering, automation and control, all the subjects starting from engineering drawing, engineering mechanics, right? Theory of machines, vibrations, design of transmission, design of system, design of machine elements, all coming under design engineering. Similarly, various manufacturing processes, manufacturing technology, one, two, unconventional machining techniques, CAD, CAM, SIM, PPC, these are coming under manufacturing engineering. Of course, some thermal papers, heat and mass transfer, fluid mechanics, R&AC, IC engine, power plant engineering, all coming under thermal. Then, of course, there is automation, robotics, industry 4.0, applied hydraulics and pneumatics, very important and interesting course when it comes to automation, right? MEMS, names, these are the courses. We should have firm grip over those courses, right? Now, first you have to understand, my dear friends, these are interdisciplinary knowledge. Sometimes what people do, they study one course, kinematics of machinery, they write the exam, they forget about it. They do not know the connectivity between the courses. Actually speaking, if you are a mechanical engineer who are willing to, you know, design and manufacture one typical IC engine. Let us take one popular core mechanical component IC engine. Please understand. First, I need to conceptualize this. So I have to, draw my concept into a product. I need machine drawing knowledge, right? From that machine drawing, engineering drawing knowledge, then machine drawing knowledge, then I should have a drafting knowledge. Then what happens? There are various components are there because it is a moving one. So I need to know what is the displacement, velocity and acceleration analysis of each and every component, say a piston, connecting rod, crank. That means I need to know the knowledge of the, that kinematics of machinery. When various forces are acting on a IC engine, thrust acting on the piston head, what is the force component acting along the connecting rod and the crank? How much will be the force acting on the crankshaft and the bearing? So I need to study various forces acting on the engine. So I need dynamics of machinery. Then when I put everything into a casing, I need to talk about stress, strain and deflection and failure. Again, different types of failure due to the load and due to temperature, thermal load. So then it comes a structural analysis. Strength of material comes into picture. Then we need to know, because there is a fluid flow, air fuel mixture sucked into the engine cylinder are being bombarded at the end of the compression stroke, at the stroke of the spark plug, what's happening in the inside cylinder, you know well what's happening. So there is a fluid flow, temperature happening. So I need to study them. I need thermal analysis. I need FEM analysis. FES software I need to do. Accordingly, I should find there are so many new materials are being developed or being researched day in, day out. I need to keep trying the new materials again and again. So material science subject is involved, right? Then there are many machine components are there, nut, bolt, screw, piston rod, connecting rod, all in different shapes. So there is a design of machine elements involved. There are, chains, pulleys, belt drives, all the design of transmission systems are involved because gears are involved, gearboxes are involved. Then even IC engine might have hundreds and hundreds of small components. All components cannot be produced in a single way. They need to be produced in different manufacturing processes. It can be, due to or by casting, by welding, by forging, there are many, by sheet metal work, by pressing, by rolling. So that means I should be aware of so many manufacturing process methods available. Am I right? Then, of course, I need to know about vibration analysis, thermodynamics, thermal engineering, of course, process planning, calculation. Please understand, my dear friend, only for our sake, we have divided the subjects into different subjects and we have put it into a syllabus into 40, 50 paper. There are no separate subjects. They all are one. So you should have the knowledge that What I study in one semester, not that I study, I write and I forget. Come on, very difficult. When you are into engineer, you should know the interconnectivity. It's a single family. You should know the interconnectivity. Then only you will be able to appreciate it. This knowledge is what I call interdisciplinary knowledge. You should have that eagle's bird's eye view. You connect the dot. I need this, I need this, I have studied there, I have to go back and refer to that. All are interconnected, right? This is what we need to know, my dear friend. Now let me come to very important knowledge under core competency. That is interdisciplinary knowledge. We are really, let us admit, we are not strong in this interdisciplinary. We do not give much attention to this electrical engineering and electronics papers and other department papers. We really do not know the difference between AC and DC currents. We do not know the difference between alternator and generators. We don't know what is in a servo motor. We don't know what is the meaning of Arduino board. We don't know what are the various sensors available. What's happening when I wash my hand in a hotel room? Some sensor is available. Have we ever checked what is the type of sensor? How it will look like? When I go to a mall, the doors are being opened automatically, just my sensing my presence. Have you ever heard that what is the type of sensors available? Without having electronics, without having electrical and programming skill, we are incomplete. That's what I'm talking about. I have given you example. I can give you thousands of example. Sir, when you come into a actual place in industry, nothing is specifically mechanical. Nothing is exclusively electrical. All are interdisciplinary. I give you a windmill, solar power plant. I can give you all. This is a combination of mechanical engineers and electrical engineers. Mechanical engineer can talk about whether I can have 3 blade, 2 blade, or 5 blade, or 100 blade. What is the blade profile? What is the CFD analysis? What will be the airflow? According to the time, according to the month, according to the season, whether automatically the blade orientation can change. What will be the height? What will be the width? What will be the weight? What will be the material? Structural analysis completely by mechanical engineer. Once the mechanical engineering is converted into electrical engineering, I mean electricity, by EMF is created, then electrical person pictures into it. You can see there thousands of windmills, each produce its own electricity, small amount. They are amplified. They have to be transmitted into one tower. There it has to be amplified. They have to put into a main grid. All are electrical. So if you see power plant engineering, alternate energy, electrical engineers also will claim that is their subject. Mechanical engineers also will claim that is their subject. But please understand the line. I can keep on. Just yesterday, I happened to see my, this automatic washing machine that's available in my home. There are buttons depending upon the rough, cold water, hot water, timing set, rinsing, washing. There are so many settings, so many buttons on the control panel. When I set all the control panel, it acts like a mini computer. It says this much time it will take, or for this time, it gives some data, we have to pour it. Now you have to understand, this washing machine requires 3 engineers. Mechanical, of course, everything mechanical will be there. Because inside that, they call whirlpool, the whirling, the blade, the design, it goes, like twisting motion, clockwise, anti-clockwise. Now the tar. So design of everything, the blade, the movement, drum, the vibration part of it, everything comes under mechanical. Electrical, sir, I have a plug. I'm switching on the plug, sir. There is an electrical circuit. So I'm getting the current to the motor. So motor will give you the mechanical energy to make that, drum to rotate. Now what will happen? This electronic circuit is doing the thinking process. Arduino board, that's what I call microcontroller or chip, something. So that sends the signal to the motor. Motor Now it is soaking, don't run. Motor, now this should go washing, rinsing, washing. So it should move this RPM slowly. Now I am rinsing, final process, high peak speed. Who decides that? How long it has to run? Who decides that? Electronic circuits decides that. So please understand them. All three engineers are involved in it. I can keep on talking about the printer, electronics and mechanical engineers are involved. I can talk about a very dream car of, that Elon Musk, of his Tesla company, this autonomous car. It involves everything. Mechanical engineers to design and the analysis of the car, aerodynamic, structure, CFD analysis, drag, lift, whatnot. Then of course, electronics engineers, everywhere sensors, right? Then Internet of Things, then electrical engineers for power. We need power for motoring. Then computer science engineering to write all the coding record. So this is the classical example where interdisciplinary to be done. The third discipline, my dear friend, hands-on. That survey says only 40% students perform internships. Only 36% of students undertakes projects beyond their regular coursework. Only 47% attend industry talks. They are not aware of what's happening in industry. What is necessary is, I tell you, is the hands-on training. Do small projects. You might be hearing many competitions, state level, national level competitions. They call Ideathon, Smart Hackathon. There are so many student competitions are happening. Please go and participate. Go on some interdisciplinary team and have your fun. Learn them, know them, buy them, make a project. If you have already done some AI, machine learning or something robotics, put them. Or if it is into a hybrid car or electrical vehicle, if or you want to spend time on it, become a Baja coordinator or something like that, right? This is what I mean to say, right? I have come to the last point of the core competency skill. Right. Sir, can you hear me, sir? Shiva, sir?
Yeah, it's audible. It's very clear.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. Fantastic.
Anything you want?
Under core competency skill, I am coming into the last part, computing skill. Sir, I am allergic to computer, sir. Dr. Shiva would be agreeing. When we study, that time only computer engineering has come. There are no takers for computer science engineering. That time, the first department, the most sought department is mechanical engineering. So we have natural aversion against computers. We do not, we kept that, fixed mindset. I tell you what had happened. In 1999, there was a scenario that we call Y2K problem. So due to that, there are some courses floated. Entire world, they need people who are willing to do some 6 months courses on mainframe something, and they can be employed and they were paid handsomely. People like me and Dr. Shiva, not interested. We have fixed our mindset. We feel we are hardcore engineers. I can't be doing programming. Because we said the programming, we never explored that aspect and we have not grabbed and have taken that route at all. Do you know what had happened? Few of our friends, they have chosen that option. They've embraced it. They've kept their mind free. They are open. They are flexible. They are adaptive. They have studied them. Just a 6 months course. Do you know that? I mean, 80%, mechanical, the percentage in Madras University. 80% means probably currently it is equal to 90% in Anna University. So very difficult to get even 75% and above. Very few will be there under, distinction degree. Those who have struggled to pass with meager percentage, they have gone through that, embraced it. They have already settled with, in US and European companies long back in 2000 itself. Now they are senior people in the Silicon Valley, right? Now they have settled like anything. What I mean to say is what they have made it is they are open to the mind. They embrace the technology. They never felt because I'm a mechanical engineer, I will not be teaching the computer. I will not be studying some programming. That's not. At least that time we had option. I can still be successful being in mechanical, but now computer literacy is not an option. It's a mandatory. How, without, communicating, without writing skill, without communication skill, can you live in the world? Similarly, for a mechanical engineers, this programming skill has become a very important skill. What I suggest, right? I have divided this programming skills under 3 categories. One is basic programming skill, designing software skill, analysis or simulation software skill. If you are in a second year or third year, I do not want you to be master of all. Under one bucket, choose one program. Under basic programming skill, what is your interest? Whether Python programming, C or C++ or Java or MATLAB, anyone should do. Probably C or MATLAB should do, or Python should do. Any one you choose. Whether your curriculum gives it or not. Why you bother about your curriculum? Why you bother about your syllabus? Many things will not be taught in the classroom. Gone are the days. You have to chase everything in your palms, your hands. You can learn everything in one go. So you read them. One programming coding. Is that clear? So how can we can't read. We have to code it. We have to write it. We have to practice it. There are online forums, competitions, schools. If you write a program that, that website itself evaluates and gives you a mark. There are like a Quora, there are many discussion forums, they share, they evaluate. You should feel part of it. Writing a coding should give you happiness. So that should have mindset. If you don't have that extreme, at least go open to it now. It will take slowly. I understand that. Next, any one software, either AutoCAD, Creo, SolidWorks or CATIA, NX or Unigraphics now. So any one designing software you must be good at. Sir, I know this one, sir. Can I know? No, one enough. One enough. If you know one software, because if you keep on chasing the software, your life will not be enough. If you go to a specific industry, Ashok Leyland, they will not have any of the software. They will have specific customized software for their industry. So, but what I tell you, if you are having this hands-on experience, firm grip on this, you will be in no time. You will be embracing them, using them. Is anyone telling you how to use a mobile app, something? In no time, you download it and you do it. You learn on your own instinctively. Same way you can instinctively learn, adopt in industries, provided if you have spent sufficient time on this designing software. Again, analysis software, there are 2 types of analysis. One is strength of material, like, load analysis. Another one is thermal load analysis. Thermal analysis, stress analysis. That's what we call ANSYS. ANSYS itself have many versions. You choose any one. Is that clear? One programming language, one design software, one, sir, not 100 out of 100, 70, 80%. You should have firm grip. How it can happen? Sir, only 3 hours per week we have lab, sir. Can you make master of your lab? Nothing. It's all about spending hours. All about sitting with you and with your computer, speaking with the computer, speaking with the manual, speaking with the YouTube, all, help desk channels, all. Speak yourself, learn, self-learning on your own, enjoy it. This is the only way to learn. It cannot be taught by the faculty members, need not to be taught by the faculty members. We can give you seed, we can give you a resource. Fine. Now I am coming under second basket. Very important basket. Life skill. Communication skill cannot be underestimated. Cannot be underestimated. That is the need of the hour. Aptitude and reasoning skill, critical thinking skill, these are the things that are required. Then people now they call being creative and innovative. These are the skills that are going to become at forefront. Then this 5 and 6 are not taught anywhere. Like social, IQ, intelligent quotients. There are EQs, emotional quotient. There are AQs, adaptability quotient. So there are SQ, social quotient. So these all we have to do. What is it by social or emotional intelligence? You just check whether you have them. You're at home. Are you blackmailing your mom and dad being at home? Are you sharing? I do not want to preach. Please, you check yourself. Are you could be able to control yourself, or are you very so self-centric, so thinking only about your requirement, and for your just breakfast and lunch and dinners, you fight with your mom and dad? You keep complaining about who will eat. You make them cry day in, day out. That means, come on. Or are you participating in any of their household chores? Are you being sensitive? They are also human being. They are also having all that emotional imbalances. They are undergoing n number of mental trauma. Are you helping them to come out of it? Are you making the things worse than that? Are you immersed in the mobile? So what I mean to say, my dear friend, these are all the things what I call social intelligence, emotional intelligence. Are you calling someone who are in your villages, grandpa, grandma, and all your relatives, and counseling them, giving them the, your positive vibe? Do not worry, that will happen. It will go. This is what happening. Nothing to worry. Panic. This is what happening. Do you have this? Are you taking this? Are you counseling them? Are you productively doing them? Or up to night 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, keep on watching something else? Netflix, this, that, web series, and sleeping up to 12 o'clock in the morning? I'm sorry. I'm just asking you, what do you do? If you can control yourself, this is what we call emotional intelligence, social intelligence, adaptability, flexibility. These terms are very, very crucial, my dear friend. Skills we have learned. Next, career prospects. You name anything here: automobile, aerospace, marine, defense, pharmaceutical, transport, oil and gas, power plant, machinery, rail, consumer goods, medical equipment manufacturing, energy. You name anything here. Of course, mechanical engineers are needed. I tell you to this, you might, I don't know how many of you are following this, how many of you are reading the newspapers, right? It says, the credibility of the China post-COVID, nobody is willing to, listen or believe or having confidence in China anymore. There is a crisis against China. So global countries are silently, steadily, slowly keeping their stance against China. China being the global manufacturing hub as of now. What they do now is, because of this, slowly they are moving their manufacturing base from China to India. These are the newspaper cuttings. There are thousands. I have selected few. South Korean companies willing to move from their units from China to here. US has India's back. So business shift will be moving from China to India. So the mission is exit China. 1,000 foreign firms shifting their production base to India from China. These are the news keep coming. That is a fact. Why India? Many reasons. The reason being youth capital. We have the youth power, the human power, the best and the cheapest in the world. We have it. Right? Then We have all, because one more thing is, we are the, the consumer market, the greatest consumer market in the world. So this itself a market. So all global powers are willing to move towards India, especially manufacturing firm. Assume that even if 20% or 25% of the global companies which are situated right now in China are, moving to India, even 25%. You imagine the boom. India is likely, of course, there are many challenges we have to overcome, policies, implementation, blah, blah. There are many things we need to keep things in order to attract them, in order to make it possible. But let us hopeful that India has every chance of becoming global manufacturing hub. If it is a global manufacturing hub, who are the beneficiaries? You mechanical engineers are the one. You will have very bright side, very huge role to play post COVID-19. Those who are in final year, do not worry. Those who are in third year, don't worry. You will be receiving so many messages, jobs cut, jobs removed. Even in your home, your parents, your brothers or sisters might have lost few jobs here and there. This COVID, corona, this is a temporary basis. It is not a permanent solution. I think Dr. Shiva would agree with me. We have seen that movie, Varumai Niram Sigappu. Actually, that is released in 1980s. So when we were a school kid, when we are, especially myself, when I was watching that movie, that completely talks about the dark side of unemployment. How, the Kamal Haasan is a hero, you must be knowing. So he is such a, I think MA philosophy or some kind of, that is what is graduation. It is in 1980s they have been portraying unemployment. It is not that unemployment due to this corona. So there, the scenes will come, because such an excellent movie, because I was really, after seeing the movie, I was afraid how I am going to do my graduation. Am I going to be employable? Am I going to survive after seeing the movie? Finally, that hero, the climax will end wherein he will become a barber. He will do clean shaving to his father. So that means he could not able to get any job. He has undergone all the trauma. Come on. So this is unemployment problem of job opportunity are existing last 50 years. It's not a new one. Need not to be panicking. Due to this COVID one is a temporary one. This should be all right in a year or two. So you don't put yourself into the shoe, and you yourself don't put into your negative mindset. I'm not going to be employed. I'm going to land into a bigger problem. Come on. That's not the way to, my dear friend, address it. I'm employed. I'm successful. I have my own struggles. Similarly, you will follow the path. I'm damn sure down the line, you all will be successful mechanical engineers. Everyone has to cross that fire. Everyone has to undergo that process. You will undergo it. You will do hard work. You will escalate. I'm damn sure you are going to be a successful engineer, as we all have become. Is that clear? So be positive. This is the great positivity I want to share. Let me tell you. You know that I wrote about 10 books. It is not to boast myself to you. Out of that, 4 books are recommended as textbooks in various universities. JNT University, some Uttar Pradesh Technical University, Magamaya Technical University, there are some other universities. They have become not like a local author, they are being prescribed as textbooks by universities. Why I say this? Tell you, my dear friend, I am from Tamil medium, right? Born and brought up like from a rural background, right? From government aided school, right? After even +2 or after graduation, who struggle to speak even a single sentence in English correctly, both in writing and reading. That is the status. Now, what had happened? After that, I followed that first mantra, what I mentioned. Little extra effort each day. You know your normal day. Your normal day as a student, 8 hours going to college, coming back after 1 hour sleeping. That is a normal day. In your normal day. Then your routine students. Can you spare 2 hours per day? 2 hours per day. Let me spend something extra, little effort, something extra each day. I used to invest 2 hours per day only extra. If I am a teacher, my teaching community, after coming back to my home, I do all the thing like others, but I started writing books. It started in 2000, I'm in 2020, 20 years, about 15 years, I tell you, non-stop, I am following this mantra, 2 hours per day. Little extra effort, very important is each day, each day. Now, as a student, you are a second year mechanical engineering, for example, 2 hours per day, I am spending it on learning Python programming. You do it for a year, 365 into 2, 700 hours. In your entire 180 students of class, these 2 hours per day, you will be unique. You will be isolated. You will be a special person. Imagine if you follow that, say for 5 years, say for 10 years. I have done that for 10 years. I'm doing it right now. You can find it. That takes you a long way. You stand apart. Sir, sometimes when I could not be able to do what happens, it becomes my habit. Sometimes when I could not be able to do some productive work, I could not be able to sleep on that night. Please believe me. Please believe me. When I do not do that, it becomes your habit. When I do not do that particular day, I feel like guilty. I wasted today. Am I deserved what I have deserved for this day? Like that. So that's what I thought of sharing, my dear friend. There are no shortcut to success. There is one thing. That shortcut is nothing but hard work. Then, there are 10,000 hours rule to be an expert. It's very simple. I want to be expert in programming language. Spend hours, sit with that. So anything that, as I said, going forward, people will not be asking about degree. They will not be bothered about whether you're a mechanical or EC or this one. They will be asking about the skills what you have, right? That final one is what very important. Lifelong learning, lifelong self-learning. This is the mantra for everything. So that's what I want to share all. Going, at the last, this I really liked it. This proverb says, you never let a serious crisis go to waste. We are in a deep crisis, Corona. Do not, this crisis go to waste. What I mean by that is it is a great opportunity to do things you think you not do before. So embrace this, make this count. All the very best. I really thank for the opportunity given again. I hope you might have found this one bit useful. You make a note of it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. Your presentation was very much useful. After going through it, you gave a lot of information. Our students will be very much benefited because of your presentation. It was highly informative, very much loaded, fully loaded information. Our information, these information are very much needed for our students during these days because they are under utter confusion because of COVID, because of unemployment, etc. Certainly, I am happy that your speech will always be make them enthusiastic, make them prepared, make them ready, whatever maybe the area that you might have pointed out. They'll be certainly concentrating on those areas so that they'll be fully packed, fully prepared to face the real world challenges. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much
Thank you
for
so
your
much,
kind.
sir. Yeah. Thank you. No, kind of you. But in between, friends, I have given some advices, kind of a preaching. Normally, I do not do, but I consider you, like my own kid. My son also studying first year engineering, right? So I see you all like that and give with a lot of, liberty. I use them and given the suggestion. So that's it. Thank you, sir. Anand sir and
Welcome,
Shiva.
Thank
Hopefully,
you.
Dr. Shiva, you can call me once we are normal. I wish to, meet them in person for any technical talk.
Yeah, sure,
sure, sir.
sure.
Sure, sir.
Right, right.
Students asking any doubt, any clarification, students' point of view? Anybody? Students asking any doubt? Please.
No, sir, no. No, sir, no, sir, no, sir.
No. Okay.
Sir, on doubt, sir.
Anybody? Yeah.
Hi.
Please switch on your
Please,
mic.
your doubt.
Sir, if I interested to go work with an oil and gas industry, so what can I do, sir? First,
Now, you are in which year, friend?
I'm still final year, sir.
You are in final year now. So
Yes,
you want to go into the oil and gas industry.
yes.
So even in the oil and gas industry, which discipline? I mean to say, whether you want to become a design engineering or whether you want to become into a thermal field like piping and that sector, or you want to do really in MS in oil and gas, totally a different one. So what is a specific thing? Normally,
Sir, I'm
what people do, yeah, friend, what people normally do it is because I have been into a Gulf country as well for about
yes,
3 years, right? So uh, there are specific courses for Gulf countries working in a petrochemical and oil refinery groups.
yes,
That is like piping design,
yes.
something like a thermal design. There are specific courses. So you
Sir, I,
can, study them, get the certification of them. That is one option.
yes, I actually go through that in the internet.
Okay.
It's some things on three type of courses like well technology, well testing technology, right?
Yeah.
I looking forward that. What is the scope and future, sir? Can you
You
tell?
see, answer yourself right now, right? Because when you say, well, when you say marine, when you say
Yes,
aerospace, these are a very tricky areas where they are specialized and narrow domains.
yes,
So
yes.
that means only, it will not be very wide, more opportunities. It will
Okay.
be limited opportunities, but it is a very narrowed, excellent profile. So
Yes,
what will
yes.
happen? Those who are with the oil and gas BTech, those
Okay.
who have studied their BTech from, says, Indian School of Mines,
Yes.
Dhanbad, or somebody who has done in, they will be preferred more rather than mechanical guy coming into that. Instead, what you can do it is you can attack for a specific, but I will not advise you to directly embrace totally a new masters in different field.
Okay.
Instead, I will suggest you to, pick the specialized job in that area. For
Okay.
that, what is the courses required, skills required, that you can zero in, that you can do. I do not recommend you to directly shifting from here to oil and gas, M Tech, and change your mechanical profile. That is, I felt it is too, bit away. Instead, you something else you do. That no, this is my suggestion. Are you getting me what I mean to say, friend?
Yeah, yeah, yes, sir, yes, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Friends, any other doubts, please let me know.
Students, you can make use of the occasion.
Exactly. Anything you can ask. I tell you one thing, my dear friends, most of you are not inclined in writing GATE exams. Please understand, there are wonderful public sector companies, Navaratna companies, say, HAL, NAL, NALCO, SAIL, HPCL, oil and, ONGC. then you take, in Avadi we have, something like that. All these are central government companies. Earlier days, that is, different application. Each and everyone will have different interview. Now, not like that. You just have excellent gate score. Gate score
டவுன்லோட்
means people
பண்ணா
have the
blank-ஆ வருது.
understanding that they are
சரி,
only meant for
first ஒரு தடவை
doing
டவுன்லோட் பண்ணி ஒரு 50
masters.
பேர்கிட்ட இருந்தப்போ வந்துச்சு. இப்ப இப்படி வருது, என்ன செய்யுது?
Yeah. So gate exams, people understand that they are only meant for doing
Blank-ஆ.
MTech. No. Gate exams are the only way for you to take the plum post in government and Navaratna companies. Do you know the salary? The seventh pay, 1.5 lakh, 2 lakh, 2.5 lakh, you may not know. So the only way through R&D organization, research and development organization, public sector, Navaratna company is through gate. There are not much competitions, my dear friend. People are having gate means something extraordinary. Nothing extraordinary. It's all about the hours. All about knowing the gate syllabus. From year 2 onwards, keep preparing for them. Study that subjects clearly. That is the best way to do that. Yeah.
Multiple times வந்தாலும் வரமாட்டேங்குது.
Anything else, friends?
நீங்க மற்றதெல்லாம் delete பண்ணிடுங்க. blank ஆ இருக்கிறது.
Hello, students. Is there any other doubt you want to get clarified? You want to have anything else from the expert?
The first thing is, my dear friends, you should not be shy of asking it. You ask something, because we Indians, we Tamil Nadu people, we are very, we do not have, we have knowledge, we have thinking process. We are very shy of asking in public forum. Come on, that is the first step you should have. Throw out your own fixed mindsets, being shy, being backside, being hiding behind us. Come up, only for them opportunities will come. So if you feel like asking, you ask it. You don't worry about the quality of the questions. Right.
Please come forward.
Fine.
Students.
Same thing happens even in our institutes. So sometimes what I do, Shiva sir, even
Yes, sir.
before meeting, I put 20 of them. You have to compulsorily ask questions. So we make them, because I understand, they sometimes take back seat and they see how what others happening, but they should come up. That's what the industry needs. That's one of the important skill one should develop. I'm just telling you. Yes, sir. Yeah.
ஓகே சார், முடிச்சுக்கலாம், கம்ப்ளீட் பண்ணிக்கலாம் சார், க்ளோஸ் பண்ணிக்கலாம். ஆனந்த் சார். எஸ் சார்.
Okay. Okay, anybody else?
நோ ஆஸ்கிங்.
சரி சார், முடிச்சிடலாமா?
எஸ் சார், க்ளோஸ் பண்ணிக்கலாம் சார், ஆஃப் பண்ணிக்கலாம் சார், க்ளோஸ் பண்ணிக்கலாம் சார்.
Okay, sir. Expert, sir.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, thank you, sir.
That is,
Right. Be
thank
safe.
you very much for your kind concern, sir. We'll be grateful to your presentation. Thank you very much.
Pleasure is mine, sir. I cannot say to my friend, whenever he invites me. So I will be ready to come and deliver even in future. Looking forward to it. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Bye, sir.
All students, stay safe, stay positive, stay home. Take care.
Yes, sir.
Bye.
நீங்களும் சேஃபா இருங்க சார்.
Thanks pa.
Be safe, sir.
வீட்ல கொஞ்சம் ஏதாவது யூஸ்ஃபுல்லா இருங்கப்பா, பாவம் அப்பா அம்மாங்களுக்கு. My humble request. Thank you. Bye.
ஓகே சார்.
Bye.
ஓகே.
Thank you, sir.
Bye, sir. Thank you, sir.
Bye sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Hello.